Why do you allow it? Because it's too much trouble. It's too high. You know what? I'm out. All of that yelling, all of that sage, you know what? I can't deal with that. I'm gone. Do whatever you want to do now. Not the U.P.K. Okay. Come on.
Rock said a stupid train, man. We're live on Facebook. We're live. So can you get your sister open up this? With the high-tech fingerprint. I have to take her and move her finger. Touch on a few topics today. Just bear with me. Oh, shit. Hey, Salaki, brother, it was you who had a question about the lake of fire that I never got to. You didn't have that question. Was there anybody who had that question? I could have sworn it was someone with revelations about the lake of fire, but since I brought it up, you all understand what the lake of fire is. What is it?
This America burning.
What's on Christ?
Salaki.
Christians love to
Let me keep this with me.
teach that the lake of fire is like some kind of hell. Of course, heaven and hell, according to the Christian church, is a lie. And it's not, what that is. Hey, can we, let's go ahead and just turn this off. Heaven and hell, according to the Christian church, is a lie. When you die, you do not go to a burning pit of fire and hell. When you die, you do not go, to some pearly white gates, in heaven. Of course, when you die, your soul is sent up. You understand? It's judged and then it's sent back to the earth that you'll live again. Understand? That lake of fire is, of course, when the Third World War, starts to happen. Christ is returning with them 200 million angels, and all hell is nuclear warfare is bombing America. Of course, we will be taken up in those chariots according to the book of Revelations. So imagine, you see those sci-fi movies where, they up in space looking down at like the earth just being completely obliterated. It's kind of, you always see like that lake of fire just go across the earth. Imagine that, but it's just America. That's what that lake of fire is. And those people whose name is on that list will be cast into that fire, which means what?
Second death.
It'll be their second death, because we're dead already. You understand? So we've been reincarnated once when we came inside the truth. You understand? But that their names being cast into that fire means what specifically for them? You understand? The Jake outside, you understand, in the world who didn't want to listen to the truth. They didn't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They didn't want to, serve the Most High. They wanted to get high, you understand, and be homosexuals. When their name is cast into that lake of fire, what does that mean for them? That's my question. Brother.
That they will be the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Give it to me most straight. Anybody can answer. Anybody can take a guess. Remember, the lake of fire is not something so mystical. It's literally America being burned to the damn ground. So if their name is cast into that lake of fire, you ever heard the term, I got a bullet with your name on it? So the Lord is saying he's going to cast your name into this lake of fire. He got a spot in that fire with your name on it. What does that mean? Young man. Speak up. Meaning he's going to burn in that lake of fire. He won't be brought up in those chariots. He won't be one of the men watching and seeing the lake of fire. He will, of course, be the man, woman, or child inside of it, you know, burning again and dying with America. That's what that means. You understand? But be clear on that. Is there any other questions before we begin? Anybody got any questions, any concerns?
Question. I look down. So I had a question down somewhere.
Also,
But I never remember.
brothers, sisters online, if you got any questions online, type it in the chat. You know, if you got any questions, if I can get it, we'll answer it. Also, go on live on Facebook, Instagram, understand, YouTube, and share this video. You know, share it live. These videos, these live classes are very important for the salvation for the children of Israel. Understand? That's the least you can do. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. That's the very least you can do. Let me see here. We got I.S.U.P.K down Instagram, that other Instagram. We got I.S.U.P.K down Facebook, I.S.U.P.K down on YouTube. Good night. All right. So, what the hell can this be used for? That's what I guess I'll use that. Take your time. If anybody else in the room got any questions at any time, just raise your hand. Is there waters in the back? So we're going to show you.
I'll check that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead and look for that.
Okay. I found it. It's Deuteronomy 15 and 12.
How many waters do we got? Because I got one. No sweat. Babylon, you the highest ranking. You want that?
No, sir.
Young man, or Trooper, you want water? You want it for this? Sis, you want one? You need a water? Young man, you need a water? No sweat. What was that scripture again?
Deuteronomy 15 and 12.
I got you. Shemar, do me a favor, can you connect this? I forgot to connect that to the internet.
She came to me.
All right, go ahead. You can read it.
Actually, it's Deuteronomy 15 and 17. read it. Thou mayest not, Salakia. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12. Oh, no wonder I'm on the wrong. Salakia, it's supposed to be 15.
15 and 17 or 15 and 12?
No, it's 15 and 12. Salakia. And if, Salakia, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 12. And if thy brother, an Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee, and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee.
What's your question with that scripture?
Were we actually sold to one another like that, or what does that mean?
And we were sold. Okay, anyone could be sold as a servant. You understand? Even inside the nation of Israel. But of course, it's not like how the white man did it to us. You understand? How many of you have ever heard the rumors or the history that the white man was supposed to take Africans from the west coast of Africa and have them as indentured servants for 7 years and then release them? You've heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. What is it? Yeah, so read it again. So you've heard they said we're supposed to be enslaved or indentured servants for 7 years and then released. Read that again from verse 12.
And if thy brother, an Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee.
Because when it comes to having servants in the nation of Israel, we have rules and laws that goes with it. These rules and laws that go with the was having servants is what the white man completely obliterated and did not follow. Right? You understand? He took us into slavery. Like, you got to realize this: the white man is not going to be put to death simply because he conquered us. That's not the main reason. The main reason that he's going to be put to death is not because not only did he conquer us, but he raped our women. Right. He raped our men. He told us we were not Israelites. He took our culture away from us, took our identity away from us. You understand? He wanted to cut the name of Yasha'Allah off forever. When initially, you know, the white man, if the white man had any righteousness about him, he should have taken us for 7 years, made us work for 7 years, and then let us go, like he said he was supposed to do. And then what's the other rumor that came with the end of slavery? Who knows?
What, 40 acres and a mule?
They were supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. Read verse 13.
And when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty.
They shall not let him go away empty. You understand? The white man, what do you call it? Abolished slavery. You understand? And what did he do? He just said, get the hell off the plantations. You understand? He didn't give us the 40 acres and a mule. He didn't give us any land. He didn't give us any money. He didn't give us anything. Right. You understand? Which goes completely against what God has set up. Because, of course, when you're in rulership, you're going to have servants. You understand? When you're in rulership, you're going to have power, and you're going to want to exhort that power. And sometimes you may have an Israelite, a fellow Israelite that, you know, is carrying your wine for you or working in your kitchen for you. You understand? It may happen. Israel, it was at some point in time where we was going to war with each other. And sometimes you may have been a spoil of war. You understand? That's in the Bible as well. But,
if I may. So in this instance, the word sell means like
it's
the person volunteers itself, or he asks you to be his servant.
The brother is a servant already.
He's already a servant.
In certain cases, like you imagine, what's a movie where you got a black servant? Like imagine I got a butler who's black, but he's my butler.
Like Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. What's his name? Yeah, see, look. I got you. What's his name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. You understand? Imagine I was, you know, a king of Israel, and I had Jeffrey, who, you know, I treated rightfully. They didn't treat Jeffrey like a goddamn slave in America.
Right.
They treated Jeffrey like a brother, like he was part of the family. He just had a specific job. His job was to be a servant. His job was to serve the family, serve the breakfast, serve the dinner, serve the lunch. That was his job. There was nothing wrong with that. You understand? But if imagine if, you know, I said, you know what, let's say you another king in another place, but we both Israelites, and you know, have a quarrel with me or something like that, and I'm like, you know what, I'll sell you my most trusted servant. He's abided by me for 12 years, never stole anything from me. I'll sell him to you for your daughter. Or, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever the circumstances is, the point of this scripture is that if it does happen, do not do it the way that the so-called white man has done it to us. You understand? When you get a servant that's a brother, you got to treat him as such. You understand? He can be your servant for 7 years. After that 6th year, go, and you got to send him with something.
Right.
You got to send him with money. You got to give him a chance to leave. Go ahead, say what you got.
Service package.
A service package, right?
Now when you fire or whatever, they give you a service package. So
right.
You're not going to make the end.
You got to be able to give him those things, man, because other than that, if you don't do that, then you're no better than the so-called white man.
Right.
You understand? We get a lot of sweat and hack because we decide that we want to be, you know, like white people will come up to us and say, you know what, if you saying a white man is going to go into slavery, ain't you no better than the white man? You damn right we better than the white man. Because when the white man goes into slavery, we won't rape his women. We won't touch them. You understand? They won't have to worry about their women getting impregnated by us. They won't have to worry about their men being buck broken or raped in front of the women. No man in the nation of Israel would even think to do anything so disgusting like that. You understand? But these laws, if you read this whole chapter, these laws are laws that's going to, you know, teach you how to have a servant. And a good lesson is Jeffrey. You understand? From the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's a good way that a servant should be treated. A servant should be treated like family because, of course, he is family. You understand? A brother from the nation of Israel is your family, and he should be treated as such. You understand? But it could happen. You can't have a servant. You can't have a butler that is an Israelite. What you got?
I got two more. Quick. This one is quick. In Deuteronomy 23 and 2.
1 second. Let me get there. Are they all in Deuteronomy?
Yeah. They're all in Deuteronomy. I just need to know, if you may, give me what the word bastard means in this verse.
Do we got a Zondervan?
I have a portable, a little small.
Right there in front of them. Slots.
See if the word bastard is in the Zondervan. So here, you got both of your, you said 23 and 2?
Yes. Deuteronomy 23, verse 2.
And what's the other one?
And the other one is 19, Deuteronomy 19 and 3 and 4.
Let's let the brother look up bastard.
I'm not sure if this is wrong, but
It's not?
I don't think it is.
Give me 1 second. What's the second one? Deuteronomy what again?
19, 3 and 4.
Again, if anybody got any questions, just raise their hand. I call on you. Also, if anybody wants anything to drink, anything that you see up there, just let Shamar know. You got cups in the back. Do whatever you want to do. Busy. Bear with me. Read verse 3 of Deuteronomy 19.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 3. Thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of thy land, which the Lord thy power giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither.
Keep going.
And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he may live. Whosoever killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past.
Read verse 4 one more time.
And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he may live. Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past.
This scripture. Yeah. I'm about 80% sure what this story is talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll ask, what you got?
Is it like, okay, if like you kill your brother by accident and you don't want to still live amongst those people, you could go there like for a safe haven?
I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask and I'm going to get the correct answer. I can't tell you yeah because I'm only 80% sure. I understand. So as a matter of fact, Shay Shamar, you got that pen?
What was that, sir?
You got that pen for attendance? What was the first one?
That was Deuteronomy 19, 3 and 4.
Mhm.
And the other one was Deuteronomy 15 and 12. Good. And the last one is Deuteronomy 23 and 2.
Okay, so there was 3.
Yeah.
Was these 3 only the 3 that you had today, or did I not answer one?
Yeah, you did answer 15 and 12.
So I did.
So yes, you did answer that one.
So it was 19 and 3, and what was the other one?
23 and 2.
All right, so I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna make sure I'm 100% sure. You understand on those breakdowns, and I'm gonna get them back to you.
What?
What's that? Is there any other questions? Either on live, anybody watching the live streams, or in the classroom before we begin? Wait till live. Okay, give me Zephaniah. You got something?
This is off topic.
Go ahead, let's go. We ain't on topic yet.
That's right. Well, if I may, so where would I go? What would be a good scripture to pull in terms of describing a husband's duty to his wife? Other than, I know.
Go to 1 Corinthians.
Because a lot of people, if I may, sir,
Mhm.
there's a lot of misconceptions that people assume the relationship between a husband and wife is predicated on. They say it's this, or you got to do this, or you got to do this, and that's in the world. But I was one of the I.S.U.P.K. So one of the main ones they say is like, you know what I'm saying?
So like Ephesians 5:25. But go ahead. I'm not to cut you off. Give me some. What are some of those predications? Understand? What do Christians say a husband has to do for his wife? Understand? Because of course, the husband always has to do something. You understand? Like it's never a case where the wife has to do something. It's always the husband who has to do. And every Christian conversation, you could be talking about the wife cooking good, right? And the husband, and the pastor will come up and tell you, well, if that husband ain't out there breaking his back, you understand, to make sure he get the pork chops in there, how he gonna cook it? How she gonna cook it? You understand? It can never just be the woman should just be able to cook good. End the story. What do women say? What they say on Twitter? What the city girls be saying? Period. They love to say period so much. Why is it never just a woman should learn how to cook? Period. I don't ever end it at that. It's always a woman should learn how to cook. Well, a man should learn how to do. Nobody said that a man shouldn't learn how to bring groceries in the goddamn house.
Right.
But a woman should know how to cook, period. You understand? We need to steal that back. You understand? Go ahead, what you got?
Well, one thing you just said is basically if a man don't got a job, then he can't have a wife. You know what I'm saying? So in order to have a wife, he has to have like a certain financial standing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that's very common. I've heard people say in the Christian church, like if the man ain't pulling in a certain amount of money, she should get rid of it.
What the Christian pastors say? What do TD Jakes teach? They are unequally yoked, which is so disgusting. Okay. Because unequally yoked does not mean whatever bastardized explanation or breakdown that they give. You understand? Okay. But that's what your Christian pastor will teach you, that if your husband does not have money, that you should go find a man with money. You understand? That's what you should do. You should go whore yourself out and find the man with the most money. You'd be better off just teaching women, just find the man with the most money in the first place. Right. You understand? Why don't you just go look for the goddamn millionaires and millionaires so that you don't have to worry about this? You know why you don't? Because it don't work. Right. The celebrities is all up, with the white women. Right. The Chris Browns and the Trey Songz and the French Montanas, they love the white women. So you find yourself constantly wanting something that you can't have, which is why you're stuck with Jerome. Right. It's why you're stuck with Day and Daquan in the ghetto. But then you go to that Christian pastor, and instead of that Christian pastor telling you not to envy what the fuck Chris Brown has, he tells you you should hate Day and still wish and go get on Instagram and show your ass on Instagram and take half naked pics so that one day Chris Brown may see your pic and slide in your DM. Or maybe Future. Future's the one who's doing it nowadays. You understand? You got a one in, whatever chance of getting Future to slide in your DMs if you show enough. You understand? And that's just so disgusting. And that's the problem with the Christian church. Because the Christian church will tell you that you should have a man with money. When really, you shouldn't. You understand? The Lord doesn't give a damn if you have a man with money. The Lord gives a damn who you slept with. That's your man, and that's it. Period. You understand? Read that out. Or who got it? You got it, Ephesians?
I got it. 5 and 23.
5 verse 25.
Verse 25.
This is the duty of a man to his wife. You understand, according to the Bible. Read it.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 25. Mm-hmm. Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands, love your wives.
Even as Christ also loved the church.
How did Christ love the church?
He gave his life for it.
He gave his life for him? Is that all he did? Good.
He showed them the way to brotherhood.
How did he do that? Give me Matthew 21 and 12. Go ahead, Dr.
So like he taught them.
He taught them. He taught them brotherhood. You understand? That's exactly what he did. So read it one more time. Ephesians. Do you have it?
I can get it, sir. So Ephesians 5 and 22.
Ephesians 5 and 22. But Christ taught the church. You understand? Wherever we were misled, wherever we was misguided about following the Sadducees and Pharisees, Christ came and taught. That's the same thing you have to do with your wife. No sweat. This Bible is not going to tell you that you have duties as a husband. You understand that? You do have duties as a husband, but with these stipulations that the Christian pastors put on husbands to be able to provide, understand, millions and millions of dollars and buy $2 million Lamborghinis and have your wife on cruises every goddamn weekend. That's not a stipulation that Christ put on a husband for his wife. Right. You understand? He said, read that, one.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 25. Mm-hmm. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Hold on there. Give me Matthew 20. You know what you got. You brother, give me Matthew 21 and 12.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 12. Mm-hmm. And Yahushua went into the temple of the Most High,
Mhm.
and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple.
Read verse.
All the city was moved, saying, "Who is this?" And the multitude, verse 11, and the multitude said, I.S.U.P.K, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee. Verse 12. And Jesus, I.S.U.P.K, went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple.
This is exactly how Christ loves the school, or how he loves his people. You understand? He's seen that the Sadducees and Pharisees was in the school selling and buying, you understand, and just dishonoring the temple of the Lord. So what did Christ do? What did he wound it up? What was it that he wound it up, Thabon? Was it just
He turned over the tables, didn't he?
right? He turned over the tables, but what was it when he whipped them, fatted the Sadducees out from together? He made a whip. Either way, you understand? He made a whip, and he went into the church or in the school, and he whipped the hell out of them Sadducees and Pharisees. But a Christian pastor will never show you this.
That's right.
He'll show you, husbands, love your wives, as Christ did the church. See, Christ gave his life for the church, but they won't show you where he corrected it also.
Right.
They won't show you where he corrected them from being whoremongers and thieves and liars. They won't show you the story where Christ would kill his own man. You understand? Will kill one of his own disciples, chop his head off for lying for stealing money for Christ. They don't show that part of Christ. You understand? Right. Christ was a hardcore brother,
right,
as your husband should be.
Right.
You understand that? Don't listen to the Christian pastors, man. They're going to have you dating some homosexual. That's right. All you're going to get. When a husband loves his wife as Christ loved the church, then you are going to have a man who will not let you do a goddamn thing. You won't do anything that's wrong. Right. You'll do everything correctly, though. You understand that? That's how Christ loved the church. Is there any more on that?
No, that.
You sure?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back. Go back to your question. Is there any more on that? On your question about the stipulations?
Sir. Well, I guess you answered it because the other thing. That's another. Like the first thing that people say when they look into the scriptures and see that okay, this person had more than one wife or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And when people talk about it now, they always say, "Oh well, can he afford more than one wife?
Can he afford it?"
You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot here.
Let me ask you a question. When you take on a wife, you take on a possession, right? Uh-huh. Meaning that your wife belongs to you. Right. You're responsible for this woman. If robbers come to take her life, you initially have to do what? What do you have to do? Someone comes to take her life, you have to do what?
You have to defend her, give yours.
I was thinking more of take their life, because I ain't doing shit. You know they gonna die.
That's a better
understand. We gonna live happily. We gonna live happily ever after, and we gonna tell stories to our grandkids about how I killed 6 niggas, and do anything to anybody in my family. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But that's what you have to be willing to do. Read that one more time, Ephesians.
Go. Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands, love your wives. Now, of course, these are men. Men have children, do they not? Should you love your children? If you have a daughter, should you love your daughter? You should, right? It's not a trick question. You should love your daughter. Should you be willing to give your life for your daughter or take a life for your daughter? Okay. Do you have to be rich to have a daughter? No sweat. What was the stipulation again, Thabon?
The last one I spoke of? That's how are you gonna have multiple wives if you can't afford to take care of all of them at the same time?
How are you gonna have multiple daughters if you can't afford to take care of them? People who say this should not have children.
Right. You
understand? You think having a wife who is able to get up off her goddamn ass and go work and have a job for herself is a encumbrance of money? you should try having kids.
Right.
You understand? And see how much they take from you and can't give you anything.
Right.
But no one says that. There's no stipulation on that. You understand? You should be able to have as many kids as you want, which is why you should be able to have as many wives if you want. It doesn't give there's no stipulation on how much money you have.
Right.
There is not. You understand? Give me the parable of in Matthew. You understand with the seven virgins of what Christ said.
Come.
You understand? We got to stop living in the lies and of the Christian church, man. What you got?
This is Matthew 25:1.
Yeah, let's go.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins.
The kingdom of heaven will be likened unto 10 virgins. 10 virgins meaning what? What is 10 virgins? True.
10 young women of marriageable age.
Right, meaning virgin in the Bible does not mean a woman who has not had sex. Virgin in the Bible is a woman with marriageable age. Understand? But the kingdom of heaven will be likened unto 10 virgins. Keep reading.
Which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
The bride who?
The bridegroom.
But you said it was 10. There was 10 women, but they went to go meet who?
The bridegroom.
Bridegroom, singular, not plural. Not the 10 bridegrooms, the one man. No sweat. Keep reading.
Verse 2. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
5 of those women were wise, 5 of them were foolish. 5 of those women wanted that husband that was going to lead them righteously. The other 5 of those women wanted, of course, what?
They wanted their own husband.
They wanted their own husband.
Right.
They wanted the man who was just for them. You understand? They didn't want to listen to what God said. They wanted to be a Christian and listen to what T.D. Jakes said or Creflo Dollar. You understand? To initially end up with being lonely any goddamn way, just like your mother, just like your grandparents did, just like your friends' parents did, just like everybody you know ends up lonely their whole life looking for a man. You understand? You know why so many older women are still looking for a man? Because they would represent the 5 that was foolish. Keep reading.
And verse 3. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
Meaning they didn't put in work to get that man. They walked out. Imagine how many of y'all seen Flavor of Love? What were they doing? They were all in there what? Everyone. How many people was on Flavor of Love at one time? What, 16? 16 girls?
That's like the qualifier.
Right, that's just the qualifier. 16 girls, all trying to get who? One man. They wanted one man. You understand? Now imagine if 7 of them was like, you know what? To hell with this. You know, I'm not about to compete with nobody. You understand? That's what most women do in the world. You understand? But imagine they did that. But the smart one, you understand? What was that girl? New York? New York was wise. New York is rich now. You understand? She don't gotta work. She's wise now because she was smart enough to understand that she was fighting for this man. Now, granted, Flavor Flav is not a man, according to the Lord, that these women should be fighting over. You understand? Or even competing against. But if that's what you want, that's what you want. No sweat. You understand? Keep reading.
But the wise took oil in their vessels.
But the ones who was wise was willing to put in that work. The ones who was wise was willing to take that time to actually get in class and learn. You understand? Do your days before you actually court that husband. Understand that you want to be with. They were wise enough to put in that work to get that man. You understand that they knew was going to lead them righteously. That they knew would lay their life on the line. Right. You understand? If they needed it. They knew that that's the man that they needed to be with, and that's the man that they wanted. Keep reading.
With their lamps. Verse 5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
Give me, go to verse 9.
Verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy yourselves.
So when the bridegroom came, you understand, when they seen that the bridegroom was this man, you understand, this is also a metaphor for the truth. A lot of people, you know, will come into this truth. Some of them will be foolish and leave after the first day because they hear something they don't like. It's the same thing like the story with Noah. When the flood was coming, Noah was, preaching to the people. He was telling the people, there's a flood coming. You should get on this goddamn ship. You should help me build this ship. And what did the people say? They were foolish and said, what? Oh, you are a goddamn nut. You understand? You must be on crack. You must be retarded. You understand? But then it started raining. And they still thought he was a nut. But then at a certain point, they realized that it's been like 7 days and it ain't stopped raining yet.
Right.
You understand? And guess what those people did? They did exactly what these bridesmaids who were foolish did. They then try to go back and say, you know what? Hey, let me in. You understand? Hey, look, niggas, the rain is at my kneecaps. You understand? Let me in. That's what happens with a lot of women, you understand, who want to leave men in the truth, or who want to go out there and get their own Daquan when they getting tied up in somebody's basement. You understand? When they getting beat on by their so-called husband. When they having a baby, you understand? And that man turns around and says, get an abortion. I don't give a damn about you or that baby. Then they want to come back. You understand? And they want to say, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. But keep reading.
In verse 10, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
When they went to go buy, you understand? When they went to go do whatever they was to go do, the bridegroom came. You understand? Keep reading.
And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage.
Go to verse 11.
Verse 11, and afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us.
So they coming to the ship of Noah, saying, Noah, open the goddamn ship. They damn near doggy paddling at this time. You understand? Asking him to open the ship. You go into that man, and it's a sad instance, but in a lot of cases, you got women who in the world, you want to go and mess up their life, dealing with what they thought was going to be correct. And then now they want to come up and say, open up to us. You understand? I just want a man who will love me, you understand, and take care of me, so on and so forth. But what did that man say? Can you read it?
And verse 12, but he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not.
He said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. You understand? Meaning, to hell with you. You didn't want to put in the work. You understand? You wanted to believe and listen to who you wanted to believe. No sweat. You continue to do that. You understand? Dr. Warren, you got any more?
On the visa side? What? No, sir.
No sweat. All right. If that's it on that. Give me Zephaniah 2 and 1. Any other questions online in the chat? You see me one time?
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Who is the nation not desired? Come on now. Sister in the back. Black. The water. Who is the nation not desired?
Israel.
Israel. Why? How do you know?
Because wherever you go in this earth, we the ones that everybody looks upon like there's something wrong with us. Nobody wants to be us. Everyone's always abusing us, and it doesn't matter how we're treated in their eyes. It's like we deserve it to them. They don't want to treat us well. They really don't care nothing about us except for to mistreat us. But so when I say not desired, like they don't want us to be around them. We're scorned.
That's correct. What you want to say is more simply is that everybody wants to be like us, but nobody wants to be us. You understand? Everybody wants to jump high like LeBron James. Everybody wants to have the body of a black woman. You understand? And they want to be like us, but they don't ever want to die in the street for being black. They don't ever want to be poor in the ghetto because they was born black. They don't want to, understand, have to go through every, hell that we have to go through being discriminated against, being, killed in the street. They don't want to have to go through those things for being black. That's why this nation is not desired. You understand? They want to be like you. You understand? White people desire black people in the instance. They want us to play in their football fields. You understand? They want us to play in their basketball arenas. They want us to be the gladiators for America, but they do not want to be you. You understand that? You look at old Rome and how they was looking at the gladiators, they was loving the hell out of them. But near one of them people up in the stands wanted to actually be one. You understand? Because them gladiators were not desirable. It was not something that was looked at as something you really want to be. You understand? Like, you look at the fame and popularity of these niggas in America, but do you really want to still have to be black? Do you still want to have to just be a Negro? Do you really want that? Or would you rather just be a Chinese dude and just, create some kind of substance to make your hair nappy, but at least you can still be Chinese? Or would you rather just be an Eminem? You understand? Well, you can kind of be black, but you can still go in a corporate building and get a job.
Right.
You can still get pulled over by the police officers and put on your white voice and be okay. It's not desirable to be black here in America because, of course, no one wants to die for being black. And this is why the Lord is telling us that we have to come together as a people.
Right.
You understand? We got to come together as brothers and as sisters. As brothers, we got to learn to stop killing each other. We got to learn to start loving each other. As sisters, we got to definitely start learning to love one another. You understand? We got to get these demons off of us when it comes to this envyiness. You understand? And being, what's the word I'm looking for? Jealous. Jealousy is a demon that runs rapid, especially when it comes to Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian sisters. You understand? And that's a demon that you just have to fight. You gotta stop worrying. You gotta stop hating your sister. You understand? Because you got a man in the truth, and another sister comes into the truth, and she may be interested in that man, and so you go start telling rumors about her. You understand? You go to start bad mouthing her. You understand? So that she can get kicked out of the school or whatever. You understand? You'd be surprised how many stories of things like that has happened. And that's one thing that we got to stop doing. Give me Micah 2:1 real quick. Side note, I like to start this class. Of course, this class is the Brotherhood class. And I like to start that off, man, for just, that's what we got to do as a nation. When we don't come together, our nation will crumble under the so-called white man. And you understand? That'll just be it. Who got it? Micah 2:1. Now, brotherhood is very important. Of course, according to the Christian church, you're supposed to love everybody, but of course, loving everybody has gotten us where? Where's loving everybody has gotten us?
At the very bottom.
The very bottom of who?
Society, civilization.
I want something different. Sis.
All nations.
She closest. Loving everybody. Think of the words that I'm using. Loving everybody has gotten us to the bottom of. Fill in the blank.
Nations.
That's close. I'm gonna give it to you. Loving everybody has gotten us to the bottom of everybody. Everybody. You love Chinese people so goddamn much that they are above you. You love white people so damn much that they're above you. Every other nation that you love so damn much, they are above you. Because when you love every goddamn thing, you don't have the love for your own people. You understand? So in the Christian church, they teach you that you should love your neighbor, which is so, the breakdown of the scripture that they give is so terrible.
Right.
It's so disgusting. Because they'll, like a Christian will tell you that your neighbor, you understand, when we tell you that your neighbor is a black man, they'll tell you, well, don't you live beside a white dude? You understand? But what if you don't?
Right.
What if everybody in your neighborhood is black?
Right.
You understand? Like, what if you don't live beside a white dude? And that's how stupid, you understand, Christians are. Christians are so, they're so childish. You understand? Christians are like children. If you are a Christian, you damn near can't teach me anything ever. Because I can already see your mindset as a Christian is just, it's so terrible. You You understand that you can believe that God loves every goddamn body, yet we're always the one dying. That you believe that God loves every goddamn body, yet he destroyed the world. You understand? Christians are just, it's just, I don't even know what to say about Christians. The brother said Christians are just like newborn infants. Exactly. You understand? But a Christian will teach you that you gotta love every goddamn body. Of course, that's not the case according to God. Because of course the Most High does not love every damn body.
Right.
He loves one group of people, and that people is the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. You understand? So give me Micah 2:1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1.
The main people that Christians love to make us love is who? Who do they want to love so bad? The white man. That oppressor. You understand? The greatest murderer on the face of the earth. Christianity wants to teach us to bow down and love and forgive him. You understand? Even after he done killed 99 million of us on the transatlantic slave trade. 77 million Native American Indians on the Trail of Tears. You understand? But yet we still have to love him when all actuality, the oppressor, the man who has oppressed us in America for 400 years is the devil that the Bible speaks.
That's right.
You understand? He a goddamn deceiver, man. And that's all he's ever been. So when you learn these scriptures about, you understand, turn the other cheek or love thy brother as thyself, don't get it twisted. It's not talking about that white man who beat you with a baton in LA. It's not talking about that white man who fired from your job because you black. To hell with forgiving him for the crimes that they've committed against our people. You understand that? White people don't ever get taught to forgive anything. White people still to this day teach you about 9/11. There's little white boys and little white girls who still get scared of women with turbans or men with turbans. They still get scared of them. After how long it's been, they on the airport. You like some of Israel naturally do it instinctively themselves. You be on the airport and you see some turban or some Middle Eastern on the same flight as you, and you just like, God damn. Shit. You understand? Why the hell they on the flight with me? You do it instinctively. You understand? Because white people taught you to never forget what they did to you just that one time. Right. Just the one incident. Where really, every time you go to church and a white boy walks in, you should have that same instinct. You should be in there like, come. Yeah, make sure y'all watch, keep a close eye on that white boy just walked up in here. He got a bag with him. You understand? Every Las Vegas hotel should be on the lookout for every white man with a bag. You understand? Why? Because when you let the devil in, the devil is going to be the devil. That's you understand that he's going to murder, rape, and rob every goddamn thing that he sets his eyes on, man. And it's been proven. It's been proven. If it hasn't, show me how. Look at every school shooter. Look at Sandy Hook. You understand? Look at Dylan Roof Storm. Look at what they did to the Native American Indians. Look at what the goddamn do to the ozone layer. Well, to the animals. What was that lion that they killed? What was that lion, man? Forget his name. Good night. I should not forget that lion name because he lived a life like we do. You understand? On the run from the white man. What
His name was Zeus.
I want that. It was something else. If I heard it, I would know. What tell me what Zeus was, because I don't think
it was this really big lion. He was really big, and he was beloved in that area. Like he was a tourist attraction. So this dentist from Minnesota went over there and killed him and took a picture with him.
Good night. Understand? And that's exactly what they used to do here in America with us. You understand? They would want to hang you and light you on fire and then do what afterwards? With their little son, with their little kids on their shoulder. You seen the pictures.
I saw this woman, she killed a giraffe. Like, she shot this giraffe and she took a picture with it. Like, what? I couldn't what killing a giraffe for. Like,
good night. You know the answer. Because the white man is the devil as the Bible speaks.
That's right.
You understand? That's why he killed that lion, man. That's why the owner of Jimmy John's is out there taking butt naked pictures with sharks. You understand? I don't know if y'all seen that. Y'all ain't seen that. I wish I could, you know, put stuff on the TV, man.
Who is that again?
The owner of Jimmy John's taking pictures of butt naked, laying down with sharks. You understand? With lions and rhinoceroses and giraffes and all kind of, you know, animals that's unlawful. You understand, to eat like that any goddamn way. But that's just what white man does, right? He come over here. He killed how many buffalo? Just for the simple fact so that the Native American Indians won't have it to survive off of. And that's the white man, right? Everything he does, he devises iniquity inside of his own head, man, so they can prosper in his favor. The white man is the greatest criminal that ever walked the face of the earth. You understand? Since the day of Cain, the white man has been the greatest murderer that ever walked the face of the earth. You understand? Give me that scripture, Micah 2 and verse 1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
Woe to them that devise iniquity. What does that mean? What does woe mean? What is woe? Yo, the trooper, good night. Yeah, you're a trooper, man. You understand? You're a trooper.
It's all good. It's destruction.
Woe means great destruction. You understand? So the scripture is saying great destruction is to him that devised iniquity. Keep reading.
And work evil upon their beds.
And work evil upon their beds. You understand? The white man goes to sleep and thinks about how he's going to murder you tomorrow. The white man goes to sleep. Shalakia, brother, I need, if you could, Baba Kushak, could you find the article in the Willie Lynch letter, the making of the Negro slave?
So you just want the actual letter itself?
I want the letter, but I want the part specifically where it talks about breaking the female, the woman.
Oh.
Understand? But the white man goes to sleep. You understand? And they devise iniquity on their beds, man. Meaning they go to sleep and they think about how the hell are we going to push this drug into the black community? How the hell are we going to get these people, you know, to stop, you know, loving one another and love us? And they think of ways of how they're going to go out and kill you. You see, if you read some of the articles, especially when this police crimes against black people first came out, when they really first, they've been doing it. But when it became like a real thing, an issue, there was articles, man, when they was coming out where, of course, most of the cops was part of the Ku Klux Klan. You understand? And then also that they was getting like insider badges. Insider badges is like in here, in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand, you can get official things, but say you and your brother is like, you know what, you know, every time, you know, I can't explain that. I'll just give it to how they do it. But they'll say, like, if you shoot a black man, then you'll get a star. You understand? Like, they'll be in their own little cliques and NYPD and LAPD. You understand? We're amongst each other, like, you know, how many people have you shot? You know, how many niggas have you shot? This is a report. Articles that came up that they was giving little badges like this with inside one another. So it instilled an instinctive or an initiative for them to go out and do it. Now you out there, when you pull a black man over, you already like, because you waiting for the one thing that's going to make you popular. You understand? In the chief station, in the police station, and that's what they was doing, man. So when them white men went to sleep, they devised iniquity with inside their beds. They dreamed about one day being able to put 20 in a nigga. They dreamed about one day being able to shoot a boy under the age of 12. They dreamed about it, man. That's all they want to do. For whatever reason it is, you understand, we know the reasons, because they're the devil, or whatever reason they tell you, because they want to make detectives. You understand? They want to make FBI. They want to make it to the CIA. They want to move up in the ranks. And the only way for them to do that is to do what? To kill you. It's the only way. It's what the police force has always been about. Read that one more time.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Mm-hmm. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
When the morning is light, they practice it. Did you get that? Let it go. When the morning is light, they practice what they devise to destroy your people. You understand? And they go out and they do it. George Zimmerman has dreamed his whole life about being, you understand, to just one day be like the people in his Call of Duty video game. You understand? But of course, he's not gonna go out and kill his own people. So who he gonna do it to? Shit, I do it myself. When I be playing GTA, I shoot all the white people, and I leave the black people alone.
Right.
I be killing all the white people. I see the black cop call up. I just be like, damn. You understand? I just run away and say you do it too. But that's what George Zimmerman did, man. You understand? Except he did it in real life.
Right.
You understand? He went and killed that brother for no goddamn reason. You understand? Read that story for me one time.
Come on. This is the Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave.
Mm-hmm.
This is the section on the breaking process of the African woman.
Of course, we're not African. Good night. You understand? We're not no stinking Africans.
Come on.
Africans stink. We're not them. Keep reading.
You on, sir?
Go ahead, read.
Take the female and run a series of tests on her.
Just like today, just like in modern day society, the white man wanted to run a series of tests on a black female. That was everything. You understand? Meaning they tested the eyes, they tested the breasts, they tested the you understand, the vaginal area, they tested the reproductive system, the blood cells in the female. They tested everything on the female. You understand? Keep reading.
To see if she will submit to your desires willingly.
And also they tested her, understand, like they tested a female just to see if she was like a Christian would say a Jezebel today. We all know and hear that a Jezebel was not a whore. She was just a woman who hated the children, who hated the prophets of the Lord. But in Christian dumbness, they believed that a Jezebel was a whore. So of course, the white man was testing black women to see if they were going to be a whore for them. Keep reading.
Come. Test her in every way. Because she is the most important factor for good economics.
What does that mean? You can break that down.
That she, by controlling her, that's the best way to make the money.
Right, but how? Like, don't, when we talk, like, the scriptures say this, that the shame shall cover thee, right? Shame is going to cover the so-called white man. You know how? Who could tell me how shame will cover the white man? He's a devil. He's been murdering us for years. But there will become a day where shame shall cover him. How will that shame cover him? So I'm going to take a shot.
It's a lot because everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to be able to look at him and instead of the way it is now, where it's like he can go undercover, it's going to be revealed who he is, and everybody's going to.
That's the word. It's going to be revealed. Bring it home. Bring it home. Remember, there are fake Israelite groups, right? Who will say, wait a minute, the black people. They're fake Israelite group. I've encountered that personally. You understand, as a young man in the truth, where I'm in front of them and I'm like, yo, so is the white man the devil? They like, white man the devil. But, you understand, we need to, so remember that. And when I'm asking this, it'll be revealed how. How will shame cover the so-called white man? Because they definitely not, the shame won't cover the white man because of what they doing. I hope I'm not giving it to you. They saying, in sign language, it ain't gonna cover them. How will shame cover the white man? To know this answer, you have to know what your job is. What you got?
Is it because of his treatment towards us? The children of the Most High?
It's not because of his mistreatment. Like, okay, to be shameful means to be what? Like, if you're ashamed of something, it means what? You got this, sis? Go ahead and take a shot. Take a shot. If you're ashamed of something, like, okay, if you're ashamed of your car, say you got one of them old, raggedy, beat down, you understand, cars where you got 3 spare tires, you only got 1 working real tire, and you're just like, yo, I don't want to pull up in this, man. You know, you're ashamed of that car, which means you are what? There you go. You're embarrassed of that car. So, what brings, I'm trying not to give it to you, what brings out that embarrassment or that shame?
So like it would be U.P.K.
Yes, it would be the U.P.K, but more, it'll be because you're going to shame them. You understand? But you won't shame them by saying, you know, they've committed crimes against us. You won't shame them by showing, you understand, they've done bad things to us. The white man has done some bad things. You shame them by being very graphic. That's why our signs are very graphic. Because when the white man walks past, he should see that you didn't just do bad things to us, brother. You hung us from trees. You took horses and beated them so that they split our limbs apart. You took our babies and threw them for alligator bait. That's how you shame the white man. So whenever you answer these questions, prepare to shame the white man. You have to practice to do it. Your answers have to be ready. You have to be ready to be able to answer these questions on the street.
Right.
You understand? Because if not, you'll find yourself being like those fake Hebrew Israelite groups where they just like, the white man's the devil. But black people, you understand? You should be able to say, I charge the white man for being the greatest murderer on the face of the earth. You understand? He destroyed the ozone layer. He destroyed the water, the ocean. He destroyed the sea. He destroyed the Native American Indians. He killed the so-called Mexicans. He built up a wall to keep brothers out who this is their land. When the white man really should be the one having a green card, you have to be able to shame them. Otherwise, they won't be shamed. You understand? A white man would tell you right now, he'll walk in here right now and say, yeah, we have done some bad things. But when you explain it to him explicitly, you understand? That is what's going to shame him. So answer that question one more time. Or did you forget the question?
That's that.
You forgot the question. Who had the scripture? Or the letter. So I can go ahead and read that one more time. Get it back.
Test her in every way, because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any sign of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate, Salaki, to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of resistance out of her.
So if the woman show any kind of hesitation to do what? To sleep with you, to rub your back. You understand? Of course, talking about the white man, to do anything that the white man taught you to do or told you to do, that they would do what? They would whip her, man, with the bullwhip. You understand? Which is so disgusting. Keep reading.
Come. Take Salaki. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics.
Take care not to kill her, man. This is how evil the so-called white man is, man. Like, he knows he's doing wrong, man. He got it all the way down to a science. He made it into a science of destroying your people and enslaving your people, man. Can you read it?
When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age.
When in early submission, she would train her offspring. When the scriptures say that they have come together, they have committed crafty counsel, this is what they're talking about. You understand? They have had crafty counsel on how to destroy the nation of Israel, and they've consulted with thy hidden ones to cut the name of Israel off, man, so that there'll be a nation no more remembrance. This is what they're talking about. You understand? Because, of course, the white man is the devil. Right. They thought about this over and over again, night after night after night, of how they was going to destroy black people. And of course, you got simpleton Christians who want to say that we're not in these times now when we are. The white man is still trying to figure out ways how to destroy you or keep you under the rope. You understand? And don't think that it's not so, because like the white man is pushing things now that's going to only affect us. You understand? Whereas opposed, we got 2 million brothers in prison right now who most of them is in there because of drugs. And then now what they doing? They making it legal. When yet our people are still in prison, you understand? The double one, keep going.
So listen.
Keep going.
Okay. Wow. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning we have produced here in this breaking process of the female nigger. We have reversed the relationship in her natural uncivilized state. She would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male. And she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring.
Meaning, when she would see that the male Negroes or the slaves was getting buck broken or getting burned alive or tore apart by horses, she would then psychologically automatically teach her sons to be submissive to the so-called white man's power. You understand? Because why? Because of course no mother wants to teach their sons to be strong and die and get raped or be pulled apart by horses. So you would teach them to say what? Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir, master. And do whatever the hell the master told you to do because you don't want to see them die. You understand that? Keep reading.
Come. And would raise male offsprings to be dependent like her.
And would raise. What happened is that the men started becoming the women. That's the truth. You understand? It's a good thing all of you are sitting in this classroom today. But the sad truth about you sitting in this classroom today is that your ancestors, they compelled with the white man. You understand? They were, I don't want to, you understand, say the words because I'm live, but they were weak. If you're sitting here today, your ancestors were weak men. That's what they were. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, or whatever, how many greats it is, was a weak man. He was the man who would get beat, his wife would get raped, and he would not fight against the white man. He would comply. You understand? He would live his life as a slave and just be good to the white man and say, yes, sir, master. That in case entitled you to, of course, be here because his offspring was able to continue to keep growing. Those brothers who revolted, those brothers who said, you will not break my wife, those brothers who said, I will not stay as a slave, they, of course, tried to fight against the white man or run away, which, of course, ended in them dying. Their offspring was cut off dead. You understand that? What does that tell you? What should that tell you? With what the brother just read, that the men were taught to be dependent like the female. The offspring of the people here today were the offspring of those men who were trained to be like females. What does that tell you?
Well, if I remember correctly, he said that if properly implemented, it would last amongst them for 3 to 1,000 years. So this gave us a collective weak mindset that we passed on from generation.
Young man, do me a favor, go outside and let them know I don't sweat. Salaki, keep going.
You know,
keep going.
A mindset of weak men which was passed on from generation to generation. And it still lasts amongst us to this day.
That's right.
Because a lot of our young men, and I'm going to include myself, we didn't even know what a real man was until we got, much, much older than we should have known.
Exactly. What that should tell you is that the white man set out and sought to destroy and effeminize the so-called black man here in America, and it worked. It worked, and you know it worked because we're still here. That's how you know it worked. Offspring of the people who's not here, you can go on record and say that your ancestor is a real nigga. You understand? A real man, because he would not have stood for the oppression or the slavery that the white man was trying to give to him, which of course cost him his life. Someone like Nat Turner, you understand? He would have been a man whose offspring would not have made it, because of course he sought out to kill every goddamn stinking white man that he could before they killed him. You understand? So it worked. This is something that they devised and they sleep, man. They called up Willie Lynch from the coast of the West Indies. You understand? Willie Lynch was a slave owner on the West Indies, and because they're on an island, you understand, where they had slaves as well, he had to use intense tactics to control his slaves. Because of course, you on an island with people, you understand? If they ever thought to revolt against you on this island, it'll take time before you can get help from anybody else to come to that island and help you. Because of course you're on an island. So he had to use harsh tactics to keep them in control, which is why the settlers up here or the slave masters up here, they wanted to know the tactics that he was using, which is why they invited him to the Virginia banks, and he was able to speak on the tactics that he did. Hence came the name Lynch from his name, Willie Lynch. You understand? Come on, you can read that when you can. Anybody got any questions so far? Thank you, bro.
Nature had provided for this type of balance. We reversed nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence.
So this is what I had already spoken on. This is what they did to be able to make this happen. You understand? They would burn us alive and pull us apart. You understand? So when you see Beyonce singing, "Oh, I'm a single lady," or "I'm an independent woman this, independent woman that," you are nothing but a product of your people dying.
That's right.
That's all you are. You understand? When a woman should be dependent, a woman should want and need her husband. That's all you should want. You understand? Growing up, you should be trained to grow up. That's just say, you know what, I need to grow up and be a certain kind of way so that I can get a husband that actually loves my simple behind.
Right.
I should do that instead of growing up thinking I'm independent. I'm an independent woman. Yeah, you're independent in the white man's world. You are, and a woman can be independent here. You know why? Because she don't gotta do nothing. She can just go to downtown and get a job and just, type on a goddamn computer all day. And if the police come, if a robber comes to her house, she can just type 3 numbers and the police is gonna come, if you're white, but okay, black women simple enough to think that police is gonna come for them. You understand? Black women are so goddamn stupid that they believe that the police is gonna come to their black neighborhood in time to save your goddamn life. No sweat, what do we know? What do I know? Don't listen to me. They're trusting the police officers. You understand? And they'll come and save your goddamn life while someone's trying to take it from you. You understand? But we're raised in believing that we can just do that here in America. You're in the land of the free. But what happened if there was no police force? Then what? What happened if America wasn't America and it was how it used to be, where you had to fend for your own, where you had to build your own household? Then what?
I recall the scripture, I think it's in the Apocrypha, it says that they were surprised or they was astonished at the manliness of the Israelites.
Right. They were, because of course black men are the best men that you could ever have on the face of the earth. We are the manliest men. A white man could not sit up here and do, you would laugh at a white man coming up here trying to raise his voice like a trumpet. But I don't know what the hell, it sounds like Austin Powers or some gay shit like that. You understand? A white man is laughable. You understand? Like, I don't know, bro. You white. You know what I'm saying? Like, you white. I don't even take you seriously, man. Like, yeah, you got plaid shorts on. I'm being honest. You understand? When have you really seen a white dude and you just in public, you seen a white dude and was like, damn. Man, you understand? Every white dude I see just be like he talked with his nose pinched together like that or something like that. That's white people, man. What you got, sis, in the back?
What I was wondering if Yanazar was speaking about one of the wisdom of Solomon, that he was astounded at his righteousness, because this was the man that we held through vision.
I'm not sure of that scripture, but I know it also did say that that the manliness of the Israelites was like something that they had never seen, the manliness of them.
Right.
It did, yeah,
So like,
it did speak of the righteousness of them.
Y'all is off. Hold on one second. What you got, sis?
So,
Let's look.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and it's 1, 2, chapter 5, verse 1 and 2,
And is
and
this,
it goes down to 5.
and this scripture is speaking on what? Exactly.
It's talking about how the devil, white man is devil that the Bible speaks of.
Most of the Bible speaks on that.
Well, definitely. But it's talking about how the fact that no account was being made for the laborers. Our ancestors, our folks today, no account was made for our laborers. But when Yahushua comes back, these people who have afflicted us are going to be astonished at the righteousness, because like we've been here the whole time. We've been enduring this. It's been like we earned our curses, for our disobedience. But at the same time, like even beyond our disobedience, they were just weak as hell. Because just like they're going to be their own wickedness, they're also going to be able to see the people who they have afflicted. They've been afflicting the people of the Most High. So that's what I was reading. That's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and it's like 1 through 5.
I'll tell you what that's talking about. When they say that they're gonna be troubled, man, they talking about when Israel, when we go up in them chariots and they come back and they see that old little Negro that they had enslaved for over 400 of years coming back to be king, man, with crowns on their head. You understand? Ready to enslave them. That's gonna be the trouble that they'll have. Understand what you got?
I found the scripture
Good.
that I was speaking of. This is in First Maccabee, chapter 4, verse 35. And it says, now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judah's soldiers,
Which are the niggas. You understand? Keep reading.
and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly.
Just like a black man in America. Just don't give a damn about death. You understand? How many of you know just that hothead, that hot boy, that I was about to say Day Day, not Day Day. He was a punk. What's that dude off Minister Society? Doughboy. Old dog. You understand? You just know that you understand? Yo, they got guns. So you understand? I got guns too. That's the spirit of a black man, man. That's the spirit of Israel. You understand? Keep reading.
How they were ready either to live or die valiantly.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into Antioch here and gathered together a company of strangers.
Mm-hmm.
And having made his army greater than it was, he proposed to come again into Judea.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Judas and his brethren.
So you all know what that means. That means he was scared to fight them. So that he went out, got more people, you understand, and then he considered going back to fight them again because he had, of course, increased his numbers. Keep reading.
Then said Judas and his brethren, behold, our enemies are discomforted.
Mm-hmm.
Let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary.
He basically saying that they scared. Keep reading.
Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into the Mount Zion. Verse 38, and when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profaned and the gates burned up and the shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest or in one of the mountains, and the priest's chamber pulled down, 39, they rent their clothes and made great lamentations and cast ashes upon their heads.
Right. This is just heathen nations going up against Israel. If I'm not mistaken, of course, they seen the manliness of Israel because, of course, we the manliest people in the nation of Earth. You can't find anybody else. The Chinese people is not more man. Goddamn Africans, they may be crazier. Them Africans, they got a little something wrong with them. You understand? Them Africans will sling doo-doo at you. You understand? That's what they be doing. You understand? The Lord of the Flies, I guess. But, but other than that, you ain't gonna never find just more of a straight up warlord than a black man. But you understand? But drop that. We gotta get this quickly. You understand? Tabawan, you can finish that, brother. You get to 25, Genesis 25 and 21. We're gonna roll through this very quickly. So the letter, give me the letter.
Okay. We reverse nature by burning and pulling the civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
I.M.P.E.N.D.T, whatever the fuck that means, you understand? This is what they got that from slavery.
Right.
That's where they got it from. You understand? So for a woman to say that she's independent is so goddamn disgusting. It's disgusting for you to say that I'm independent and proud. You understand? That's disgusting. It's very disgusting. You should be dependent on your husband, man.
Right.
You understand? Because that's the natural state of things. But of course, in America, you can be dependent. And in a time where you had to go out and hunt and fish and build your own house and protect your own little household and cabin, then you'll realize that how dependent you should be.
Right.
When there's a bear that, like, women are so independent until there's a goddamn rat in their house. Then they not dependent. You understand, little sister? I mean,
A spider.
they're all spider or a roach. Then they not dependent. They are goddamn independent on any and everybody who will come get this out of their house. You understand? But imagine a bear. Imagine a snake, a 12-foot long snake in your goddamn living room. Who are you gonna call? Better not say Ghostbusters. It's not gonna work. You understand? Imagine robbers knocking at your front door. When a woman hears something crackling at night, 12 o'clock in the morning, and it's raining and thundering outside, then she dependent. She gonna be reaching over to grab, you understand? She gonna have nothing but a goddamn soft pillow. Then you're dependent in that day. You wish you had a man beside you in that day. You wish you had a man you can call up and say, hey, baby, somebody outside, you understand? Then you'll be dependent. But of course, because of what America provides to black women, and in this society, black women feel like it's okay to be independent. And of course, that's why we are further destroyed as a nation. No sweat. I want to finish this topic that I got. So bring out Genesis 25 and 21. Topic one, we can get to Hebrews 12 and 16. We're going to do it quickly. What you got?
There's no Genesis 25.
Genesis 25. Are you sure?
25 goes up to,
I know.
I'm looking at Deuteronomy.
Good night, brother.
I'm not here.
Hebrews 12,
Hebrews 12 and 16.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 31. 21, Salah. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Go to verse 24.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Rebekah was having problems with her pregnancy. You understand? They was fighting inside of her womb. So of course she inquired her husband to go inquire the Lord what was going on with her. When her days to be delivered, meaning when she had the babies, behold, there were actually twins in her womb. Keep reading.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy
When it
garment.
first came out red all over like a hairy garment, of course, the Christians will tell you that color doesn't matter, but color is all in this Bible. You understand? The first one came out red all over. His skin was red and bloody. You understand? Just like who today? Who is the red man on the earth? Young man. The so-called white man is the red man, which is why they call him what in the South? A redneck. You understand? That's why I don't know if any of you have gotten the liberty to ever do this. You can't do it now because, of course, you are learning under the priests and prophets of the Lord, and we teach otherwise. But if you've ever had the liberty to smack the shit out of a white person, then you understand what I'm talking about. They turn red. You understand? They turn red, very red. And then they get angry after you do it, which makes their whole body turn red. You understand? Because, of course, a white man is not white. He's not as complexion of that board. His skin has a pigmentation. That pigmentation falls under the line of a red or a pinkish color. You understand? That's why the Bible's calling him a red man. What you got?
You know, like anybody that reads the Bible should know that Esau is a special being because he's the only child in the whole Bible that's described physically when he was born.
We're going to get to that. You understand? But I want to say he's special. He's more of a devastation.
Right.
You understand?
And they called his name Esau.
And they call his name Esau. Can you read?
And verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. Now, brother already answered it, but my question is, why did they not say what Jacob looked like when he came out? I don't want this brother to answer it, or rather, this sis. What you got?
Because he looked like everybody else.
Because he looked like everybody else. You understand? He looked normal. You understand that? Keep reading.
And after that came his brother, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. Them.
So this is the birth of, well, drop down to Cunning Hunter. Maybe a couple verses down. Esau became a cunning hunter.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Just like the white man today. The white man today is a cunning hunter. He knows how to sit up in a tree with deer piss on him for 3 days in a row just to catch one game, just to catch one deer. You understand? He knows, just like Jimmy John's, the owner of Jimmy John's, he's a cunning hunter. Because I guarantee you right now, there's not now nigga in the goddamn hood that you can go out there and ask them, how the fuck do we kill a goddamn shark? How do we go do this? You understand? Well, have you ever met anybody you can go to the hood? Like if somebody came to you and was like, yo, I need to kill a shark. You're just like, I know just the nigga to go to.
Wow.
Who? I know just the one. I need to kill a giraffe. I know just the nigga. I know just the man. He live in Cornwallis. His name is Durham. When have you ever heard of that? You don't. Because we don't know nothing about killing no goddamn shark. I mean, do sharks come close enough to the beach? Because that's as far as I'm about to go.
Right.
That's as far as any other nigga's about to go. I'm not going out there with the goddamn niggas a shark. The hell am I go out there in their territory for? I'm scared of sharks. Black people are terrified of Titanic. Black people are terrified of it. You understand? They look at ships and they just like, what the hell? You understand? You see the movies where like the girlfriend's about to go on a trip and there's always that one girlfriend who's just like, I don't know. I don't know, man. You know what be happening out there. And then the girls it's always that one girl, the white girl, you understand, in the group who like persuades her to go, and then the ship, everybody dies on the goddamn ship. But of course, black people are scared to do things like this. You understand? They scared to go bungee jumping and jump out of airplanes. They scared to go try to kill a goddamn shark. I'm scared to go try to kill a shark. What the fuck I need to kill a shark for? So I get for my language. I don't care about 6 times. But what the hell do I need to kill a shark for? Esau's a cunning hunter. Who had to handle? Sis?
It's not a little simple thing. If I'm not mistaken, they went to go visit Volcanic Island yesterday, and about 30 of them was incinerated because he said, let's go visit a volcano island. That's some niggas that don't cross
Now
our.
you know the funniest thing, the story. You want to know the funniest story ever? Look, white people don't know how to stop fucking with people, yo. The funniest story I ever seen in my life was when a tourist went to some remote island, and the islanders going everyone that motherfucker to death. So like they killed him. You understand? Because white people just don't know how to see a cave and not goddamn go in it. You understand? You guys?
I got one on that topic. There was somewhere, I think it was like in the safari somewhere, and they was in the little van or in the little bus, whatever they be on, want to go see the animal. White man got out the Jeep, whatever they was in, went up to the lion thinking he was about to take it. Mauler. I'm talking about ate his head off.
Good night. And I seen one where it was like some old grandpa was like in the cage. You know what I'm saying? All you see in the video is him turn around and his old decrepit, he's decrepit as hell. He's trying to run away, and all you see is a lion just light his ass up. You understand? And it's like, man, what the hell did you go in there for, man? Right. What the hell you going there for? Why? Because Esau is a cunning hunter, and not only with animals, he'll hunt you. He will hunt you in the city. You try to not owe. I'm tired. You know how many phone calls I end because it's a number from Illinois. This is just a debt collector trying to collect the nigga. Damn, I'm thinking it's something important. I didn't even borrow nothing from nobody in Illinois. Right. Yeah, you calling me from Illinois? Let you not have child support. You understand? Let you not owe money. Let you not be on the run from the white man or America's top most wanted. They know how to hunt you, and they will get you. You understand? Make no mistake of that, because Esau, their progenitor, their forefather, was a cunning hunter. You understand? They were always, what's the nigga, the white boy name in the movie? Sylvester Stallone, Rambo. Oh, shit. It's Rocky. Rambo. Yeah, Rambo. But you see how Rambo is, man, to put the mud on them. Black people would not think of that. Black people would be like, you understand? They would be like, what's the scripture you pulled when they said that they were scared of us? That's how black people be. You know, black people, they hear things in the dark in their house, they don't know what's in there, and they just scream. They just, whatever the hell is in my house, get the fuck out. That's what black people do. White people be like, put the mud on them. You understand? It probably has heat seekers on it. What the hell told Rambo got heat seekers? How the hell you know? Understand? But white man was a cunning hunter. Can you read it?
And Jacob, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. That's black people today. You don't know that one nigga who will just say, you know what? Like, yeah, you got a boyfriend and you're like, babe, can we go to Dame's Chicken and Waffles? And your man is just like, you can't just cook some goddamn chicken and waffles. Right. Like, I'm not trying to go stand in that line. You understand? I'm not trying to wait for the food. Like, can you just cook it? Right. Some goddamn chicken. We got some Eggo waffles. Right. You just go chicken. You just cook it. Babe, can we take a walk in the park? You know, I've been through it. You understand? Your wives want to go on the most adventure ever. And the black man is just like, a nigga just want to sit on his couch and play 2K. That's all black people want to do. You make fun of it all the time, but that's all he want to do. Like, why you want to, babe, I found Groupon. Like, that means a damn. I got a Groupon. I got Groupon tickets for us to go skydiving. Why you want to? Why the hell you want to go be white for? Let the white people jump out of the goddamn. I remember who. I think it was that sis. I'm gonna wait for that sis to come back. I think it was her. But if it won't her, I'm gonna tell them they used to work in the Air Force, and they worked in the strangest job ever. They worked in the field where the pilots or whatever would like fly and have to practice parachuting out. And she, she said it humbly, but she was like, sometimes, parachute don't work, and they die. And I said, well, what does this got to do with your job? She said, I work on, I had to go clean them up. It's not funny, but I'm not jumping out of no goddamn plane for my own leisure. Right. Just for fun. I can play 2K and have the time of my life. Right. You understand? Chilling at home. Like a black woman just don't understand it. We understand it. Like we just want to sit back, like clean up the house. Like black people, we actually get intrigued by like cleaning up the house sometimes. Sometimes we just be like, you know what? Let's just clean up the house. Right. Let's burn some candles. You understand? Then I want you to get up in the kitchen, cook some good food. You understand? I'm gonna sit here and play 2K, and that's good. I'm good with that. That's black people, man. Right. That's Jacob. You understand? We are plain man. We'll chill in tents. You understand? And just chill all day. Keep going.
Verse 28. And Isaac.
You got Hebrews 12:16. Keep going.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
And Isaac loved Esau, man. You understand? Because he ate of his venison. Isaac, of course, is not someone who is fully in the truth. He is not our full father in that sense. Of course, you got to come from Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. You understand? That's what makes you the children of God. Keep reading.
But Rebecca loved Jacob.
You can see one more time.
Verse 29.
We'll stop there. Go ahead and give me Hebrews 12:16.
12:16.
We gotta go very quickly now. Because a lot of Christians will say, you understand?
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12.
And Salakia, guys, what is the duty of her man? Salakia, if you're still watching, I'll get it back. You understand? And, hey, we gotta, is there anybody who's watching on Facebook? Because there's a lot of chat going on.
Man. Book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane sold his birthright.
Because Esau, the white man, sold his birthright to us for one morsel of meat. You understand? Which was rare meat. It was bloody meat. It was cooked. That's just like who today? Who today on this earth eats uncooked meat? I don't want Salaki. I don't want you to answer. I don't want him to answer. I want more answer. I want more here. I want you to answer. With the FBI shirt, you're supposed to be able to investigate this. You understand? I mean, so who eats bloody meat?
No vegetarians.
I am not a damn vegetarian, and I do not eat bloody meat. You understand? What nation of people eats rare meat? Sis? Esau, the so-called white man. Chinese people eat rats and cats and dogs. But in every video, in them videos, when they be having 20 dogs lined up, you also see what? What do you also see? Y'all never seen the videos? Y'all don't see the videos when they be...
Which videos you talking
all
about?
of them. Even rats. So you've seen it. They turning dogs on what?
They be roasting the dog.
Because they're cooking it. They're cooking it. It's not rare meat. It's not bloody. It's not raw. They're cooking. The Chinese is disgusting as hell. But they're cooking it. Who doesn't cook their meat? Okay. Good night. Become a celebrity one day. Well, I want you. become rich one day and find yourself in Benihana's or in Morton Steakhouse in Charlotte or in LA or in West Hollywood. Go out to one of them fancy restaurants where like a steak costs $86. Sits in the back.
It's gonna be called tartar.
What's that?
Tartar, so raw beef.
You got me with that one. I thought it was called rare. I thought tar was like when they put feathers on us and shit.
Steak tartar. They're gonna have raw beef. They're gonna beat it down into paste. Put it on some crackers, and it's gonna be raw with a little bit of lemon juice and maybe some sauce. Yeah.
I'm scared to ask how you know this. How do you know this? I've been alive. Oh, Bizarre Foods? Okay, you're watching TV. Okay, no sweat. Well, you understand this, sis. What you got?
I've been to McDonald's, and they do like the way they set up. They walk around with the meat and stuff, and they got different types of cooked meat, and like a lot of it don't be cooked, like you said. Like
Right.
they come back, like when you slice it, it's the blood still coming out of it. People, white people, they love it.
What you got?
It's a lot of information.
What's your experience?
Yeah, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, my sister working far down, you know what I'm saying? She just moved back to New York, and like, there's a lot of those higher end places, where they will straight up look down on you if you try to order a steak above, put on above medium or medium well.
Right.
If you say well done, they'll look at you like,
You're like,
what's
you're
wrong?
messing up the steak,
right?
right?
I went to this restaurant, this one in Virginia. On it, it like tells you this, the menu's like, yo, do not order this well done. We're not going to cook it like
Good night.
that.
Good night. Understand that? Of course, I've had the opportunity to go out in LA and eat steak with, you understand, you know, so-called celebrities or whatever, stars of Israel, and they all get it, you know, rare or medium rare or, you know, bloody because they envy the so-called white man. But you see it mostly with so-called white people, man. You see a lot of videos. You go on your own time, go research and look up videos of white people eating rare meat, and they'll show you where they'll not cook it at all. They will just bite into it. You understand? Like the goddamn caveman that they are. So when people come up to us, I'm gonna get to you, young man. When the people come up to us and say, "How do you know the white man is the devil? How do you know that the scriptures is talking about him?" You understand? You don't know. You don't know. We're gonna bring it out today. We're gonna go a little bit over the time, but just bear with me because we gotta bring this out. Young man, what you have? I'm gonna get to you, sis. Yes, it is. It's very unlawful to eat it bloody because, of course, our Father taught us how to be clean and how to not be disgusting like the goddamn white man, which is why you gotta take showers. Even though the white man did not take showers at one point. He did not. You understand? But our God loves us enough to teach us how to be clean. You can't eat red meat, you'll get sick and die from that nonsense. What you got?
I seen a video of a white man. He forget the meat. He cut out a heart.
Of what?
Chewed, bit it, and ate it. He looked like he was about to throw up for a second, and he was like, "No, I got this." And he ate like heart, like
Seriously,
cut the heart out and ate it.
Carmen said white people, you're absolutely right. Those are the people who eat that kind of stuff. But that's just something that comes from not having nothing else to do. Like you've conquered the whole earth. Like you've got your satellites in space. You've got your, broken the ozone layer. You've enslaved the people. White people and now they just sitting in their households like, what the hell else can we do? You understand? Let me just cut open a heart and just bite into it, sis. What you got?
Isn't that what the scripture that you had Yabasar saying earlier? The one that thinks about witness even upon his bed.
Advising iniquity?
Thinks about, yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't use that scripture.
Thinking toward us, but just like wickedness. Like, why would you even? Nobody thinks like that.
I wouldn't use that scripture for that. This is more of a characteristic of the white man. This is not something that he goes on his bed and thinks about. This is something where it's just in his mind. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Black men don't go to sleep thinking about, yo, I'm gonna go to the mall tomorrow and I'm gonna see the fine woman. I'm gonna see the baddie. You understand? And I'm gonna get attracted to her. They don't think about that. Black men usually go to sleep thinking about other things, but then when they go out, they see it. And it's embedded in us, and we just like, that's just a bad right there. You understand? We may think about her afterwards. We may go to sleep thinking about her after that, like, that's just a fun. But this is more so just a characteristic of the so-called white man. It's not something he thinks to do. I wouldn't use that scripture to describe this, in other words. You understand? Anybody else? Did I miss anyone? No? Keep reading.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Mm-hmm.
For he found no place of repentance.
Who has the Zonovan? Give me Edom and the Zonovan. Like I said, we got to get through this quickly. You understand? Because a lot of our people do not understand. They understand that the white man is the devil, but they don't understand where in the Bible, you understand, does it say this. You got Edom? Read that 1 second.
This is the entry for Edom in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. The nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau.
Hold on 1 second. Give me, Trooper, give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. So this is the nation of Edom, the descendants of Esau. That's how you know that the Edomites is these people that we're talking about. They are the descendants of Esau, which is that man who came out red, all hairy, like a hairy garment. I don't think we got to that point. But Esau came out red and all hairy like a hairy garment. White people are hairy. I'll give it to you straight. White people are hairy. If they stop using Gillette Fusion, their backs will grow hair like a goddamn monkey. You understand? That's why they have so many commercials to put Gillette Fusion and whatever other razor blades that they use, the dollar shaving tools, or whatever else, because they're hairy as hell. Because this Esau is initially the father of the white man. Can you read him?
Come. He founded the country, so his name is equated with Edom. The country was also called Seir.
The country is also called Seir. Of course, when Esau hated his brother Jacob, he tried to kill him, you understand, and he ran off into the mountains. He ran off into the mountain range called Seir, Mount Seir, which is where? Does anyone know where Mount Seir is located? Sis in the back.
Jordan.
And where?
Jordan.
In Jordan, but where?
Present day Jordan.
Where is that located?
What they call the Middle East. It is between Iraq and Syria.
Mm-hmm. Brother?
I was going to say Syria.
Okay, Most High Christ. So they moved to a mountain range, you understand? Just like they moved to the Caucasus Mountains. Keep reading.
Or Mount Seir, which was the name of the territory in which the Edomites lived.
Is that it?
This is a lot more.
Go ahead, keep going.
The kingdom of Edom was founded during the 13th century BC, according to archaeological evidence. In the process of about 4 centuries, the government of Edom changed from one under tribal chiefs to a monarchy. Saul fought against the Edomites, 1 Samuel 14:47, but David conquered them and put garrisons throughout the whole land, 2 Samuel 8:14.
Right. So, all right. So drop that. So the point of that is that Esau is the Edomite. The Edomite dwelt in the mountains like in Mount Seir, also in the Caucasus Mountains, which is in the upper coast of Russia. You understand? So give me 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
That who?
That man.
That man of who?
Of sin.
That man of sin. You understand? That the Christian pastor wants to teach you to love the so-called white man. According under Commander General Yohan and the I.S.U.P.K, we've been taught to come put shame on that so-called white man because he is the man of sin. You understand? He is the man who loves homosexuality.
Right.
He is the man who loves drug, rape, murder, and abuse. You understand? He's that man. That's why he has a city in Las Vegas and calls it Sin City. You understand? Because he's that man. He dwells on that, man. That's everything he lives for. You understand? Keep reading.
The son of perdition. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God.
And he opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God. Who does that today? The so-called white man puts himself above God in everything that he does. Captain America. And you know that a white man knows these records because he plays with it and you don't even understand why. When you watch the Avengers movies and you see the sky opening up and you see those people on those chariots coming through or those beings, and then you see Captain America just destroying them. You see American putting an ass whooping on them. It's because the white man knows these records.
Right.
And he knows what's coming. But the truth is that when that sky cracks open and those chariots come down, Captain America will not destroy those things that come. It'll be held in torment on this earth, and America will become the lake of fire, and the white man will be put in his place. What you got?
Have you seen the new Foot Locker commercial where the chariots coming down and stuff? My brother got beamed up and stuff.
I don't got cables.
No, I don't need. I seen that on YouTube. But
Nah, well, I'm gonna play. That was a joke. What you got?
they know what's going. They know like that. They give it to you so watered down to make you think that it's a joke or something.
Of course, the white man is not a goddamn. He's an idiot, but he's not an idiot. You understand? He's read these records. He understands. That's why he's so intrigued with the end of the world. You understand? This man is intrigued with the end of the world because he knows that his world is coming to an end, which is why he's building up a space force. You understand? He's building up a space fleet to fight against who? Who do you think they're putting billions and trillions of dollars into NASA's space force to fight against? True.
The Most High. And if I may, I saw a report the other day that this scientist out in California, he made an advancement on lasers. Like they almost ready like to put a gamma laser. And as we know, all of the science that they produce is for war. This laser, they are really preparing because as it is written in Revelation, they preparing to fight against the Most High's charity. They think they are.
Right. You understand? Because the white man is, of course, you understand, what was the president? Man, I forget his name, but he said if there is a God in heaven, that he shall surely repay us for the crimes that we have committed. What president was that of the United States? Was it Andrew Johnson? Look it up on your own time, but it was a president. It might have been Abraham Lincoln. It might have been. But he said if there is a God in heaven, then surely he shall repay us for the crimes that we have committed, because they know that there is a God. You understand? They know that the Lord of all people is going to put America to an end, which is why they are putting lasers up there. When there has not been no goddamn sign of nothing from outer space. There's been no sign of none of that. Don't believe in that nonsense. There's no sign. They are getting ready to go to war with the Most High. That's why they want to create a clone. They want to clone themselves. They want to make sure that they can live forever. They doing everything. They want to turn men and turn them into women. They want to turn women and turn them into men. Because why? Because they want to take the place of the Most High. They want to be God. You understand? They want to be able to give your baby their eye color. They want to do that. You understand? Keep reading.
Above all that is called God, or that, Salakia, that is worship, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
You understand? So the white man will teach you that he is God. You understand? And that's what he's doing today. He's teaching you that he can clone people. He's teaching you that he can create his own weather. Is he not? Is he not teaching you that he created, like, what the hell reason do you have to go and try to create your own weather if you love the Lord? If you love the Lord and everything that he creates, then why do you have to go and create your own weather?
It's just like CERN. It's like a little company where they're like trying to get into the Earth's first so they can create God particles. Like they want to duplicate. They want to see what it's like, what kind of substance it is. So they can create things, open up portals and stuff like that.
Open portals. The white man believes he can do that. You understand? Give me Obadiah 1:4 really quick. Bear with me. Kind of got sidetracked because we started late.
It's always hard to find because it's only one page.
Yeah, no sweat. Use your index if you have to.
I got it.
All right, let's go.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself.
Hold on. I want this sis right here to answer this question. What is the national bird of America? You have no idea. She has no idea. I'm gonna try to get her to get it, because I know you know. I know you all know. What is the most majestic bird according to America? Majestic. What is the bird America loves? You like money, right? You got $1? You got one on you? Can you pull it out? Let's see if we can help this out. I want you to examine this dollar. I'm not going to say anything else, but you will give me the answer that I just asked you. The eagle. The nation's bird is an eagle. You understand that? This nation represents, you understand, the so-called white man who conquered us, and his bird is an eagle. That's what he portrays himself as. What you got?
It's not even just a real thing. Any.
You go ahead and say it, but I'm gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get there. Trust me, I'm gonna get there.
there.
No sweat. I'm gonna ask one more question to this sis, the same sis with the FBI hat on. When white people or Neil Armstrong, quote unquote, landed on the moon, what did they say?
So when he landed on the moon, what did he say?
When they landed that spacecraft on the moon, what was said? I mean, he probably said, "Damn, I'm on this motherfucker." You understand? But and we're not live no more, so I'm gonna just go ahead and give it to you. You understand? I'm gonna give it. What did he say?